Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this. I hope if it's at night or if it's in morning, you've had a good sleep. I hope you're taking care of yourself, taking good amounts of food, taking good amounts of water, having physical exertion, because all of this is necessary for us to pay attention in class. We need to study, we need to play, we need to spend time with family, we need to spend time with friends, but we also have to look after ourselves. Okay? Let's go ahead, guys. Let's do this today. Take out your pens. I have my pen. Take out your notebooks. I have my notebook in front of me. So all of us can begin together. We start with ancient India. Now, we understood that there are three periods of history. Three periods of history including ancient, medieval, and modern. So today we begin with the first leg. The first leg, that's ancient India. Are you ready? Are you ready to go on a journey of your country? Are you ready to see how your country has come to become what it is today? Isn't it interesting? Isn't it very fascinating to see how India was before and how India is now? So you can understand what led India to become what it is today. All right, let's go ahead. I hope my enthusiasm is matched on the other end. Okay, if I say let's go ahead, I know you should feel it inside you that, okay, today I'll watch this lecture and I'll do well and I'll study well and I'll make notes. Okay, let's go. Ancient history. We begin with Stone Age. That's the first leg that we have to cover. So the Danish scholar Christian J. Thomson. Let's remember this person's name. Christian J. Thomson. What's very important in history? What are two very important things in history? There might be more, but right now I'll tell you two important things. One is, there are three very important things in history. Dates, events, and names. Right? Keep this in mind. If there's ever a date in front of you, if there's ever a period that is mentioned in front of you in history, put that in your brain. Okay? If that period is associated with events and it has names like here, Stone Age, put that in your mind. Okay? If there's a name associated, put that in your mind. So we have Danish scholar Christian J. Thomson, who coined the term Stone Age in the late 17th century for the study of the human past. Now, why are we doing this? Why are we studying this? We're studying this for an exam. But the main part, why do we need to know this for an exam? So we can study the human past, because it's very necessary to study the human past. The Danish scholar Christian J. Thomson coined the term Stone Age in the late 17th century for the study of the human past. The Stone Age is defined as the age when the prehistoric man began using stone tools. When humanity, by prehistoric man, they just don't mean man, just a man, okay? They mean human beings. Human beings as a whole began using stone tools. Now, these days we have a lot of tools. We have screwdriver, we have plas, we have computers. They're also tools, right? We have chairs and we have knives. Now, these things are made up of different materials. What is a screwdriver is made of stainless steel and plastic. A chair is made of plastic, steel, or wood, and various things, But during that time, stone tools were used, because those were the most basic tools that could be used. That is when, this is the period when, as you can see in the picture over here. Can you see it? I've attached this picture. I've attached this for a better understanding. Can you see men working here? Can you see people working on tools, with stone tools? So we had people who knew about, people who discovered that we could use these stone tools for better things, right? We will be studying now the Stone Age is divided into three parts. You see how that's 333. Everything's 333. We have sources of history which are 3. We have, we have periods of history which are 3. Now again we have Stone Age, which is also the 3 parts. So the first one and the most early one is Paleolithic period. It began 26 million BCE. Oh, that's so far away, brother. That's so far away. Till 10,000 BC. So that's like a lot of years. Right? So Paleolithic period is so long. Remember this in mind. 2.6 million BC to 10,000 BC. Keep this in your mind. What did I say? Dates, events, names. We have the date, we have the event, Paleolithic period, name. We don't have a particular name over here, but we'll have more names. Okay. Now these names could be a proper noun, they could be a common noun. I hope you're studying English as well. So all those names. Now we will see the important facts of Paleolithic period. Now read with me. First is Homo sapiens appeared for the first time. What do they mean by Homo sapiens? Homo sapiens is human beings. The current scientific name of humans is Homo sapiens sapiens, but Homo sapiens appeared for the first time. Before that we had Neanderthals and all these names if you have heard of. Let's not go into science, but this is social sciences. Okay, we'll stick to that. So Homo sapiens appeared for the first time. That was the first time that for the Homo sapiens were, spotted. Then we have development of first simple tools using quartzite, mostly for hunting. So quartzite is a kind of material, and they made first simple stone tools. Very simple stone tools were made for purpose of hunting. This was the time when Homo sapiens were hunting and gathering. They were hunting animals and they were gathering food, they were gathering fruits for their own consumption. Okay, so this is they use these stone tools mostly for hunting. There is further division of Paleolithic period into lower Paleolithic period, middle Paleolithic period and upper Paleolithic period. So we keep only these points in mind because we don't have to go much deeper. If we go deeper, we'll have to study lower Paleolithic, we'll have to study middle Paleolithic, but we do not do that. We only stick to the information that we have, but we keep that information in our mind. What are the important things? The period, Paleolithic period from 2.6 million to 10,000 BC, that's a long amount of time. So Homo sapiens appeared for the first time, and development of simple stone tools using quartzite, which was used for hunting, and people here hunted and gathered. And the Paleolithic period was divided into 3 parts, which are lower, middle and upper. Okay, great. Moving to the next period, which is the Mesolithic period. Now, as soon as the Paleolithic period ended, began the Mesolithic period, which lasted from 10,000 BCE to 4,000 BCE. Okay, so that's 6,000 BC, 6,000 years in between. That's so much less when we compare it to Paleolithic period, right? So, what information do we have about Mesolithic period? Let's see characteristic tools called microliths. Microliths. Small sharp blades were used. So Mesolithic period was characterized. It's one of the characterizing feature. It's a feature which is very peculiar, which is very related to Mesolithic period. So Mesolithic period mein what happened? What was an important thing? That characteristic tools were used, which were called microliths. And what were they? They were small sharp blades. So there can be a question in your paper. There can be a question like, what are microliths? What do you have to answer? What is the correct option? Small sharp blades. Domestication of animals began. Now people over here were hunting and gathering. They were not domesticating animals in the Paleolithic age. No, they were not doing that, right? But in the Mesolithic period, they started domesticating animals. Domesticating animals helped them get meat, it helped them get milk, it helped them get flesh for their eating. That helped. It also helped them form connection with animals. Okay. Now that we see that, we have pets at home, we have a dog. Who has pets over here? So we have pets at home, we have a dog, we have cats. So that is something which started over here, right? This was a period which started the domestication of animals. Okay. Now, but they were still hunter gatherers. However, they had began settling soon. Now, see how it is related. See how it is related. If you need to domesticate an animal, you will have to settle somewhere, right? You cannot go around all the time. Before, they used to go around all the time in Paleolithic period. They used to go from one place to the other. They did not stay anywhere for long. Humans. Who do I mean when I say they? Humans. So they did not stay. Did not stay anywhere for a long amount of time. They kept moving. But with Mesolithic period, they started domesticating animals. So they understood they had to stay. They had to take care of the animals. They had to feed it fodder. They had to give it grass, for it to give them milk, for it to give them other kind of products, for it to be healthy, for if they even wanted to eat it later. Okay, the animal. So that is when the settling began. That is when they started settling at certain areas. Now we have the Neolithic period, and then as soon as the which period ended? As soon as the Mesolithic period ended, Neolithic period began in from 4000 BC to 2000 BC. So what is the first thing? I hope you can see it. What is the first one? It says cultivation of plants is an important feature. Now let's see what has happened. Mesolithic, Paleolithic में stone tools were developed. Mesolithic में domestication and settlements began, right? You see how it's a chronology of things happening, how society is advancing. And then by the Neolithic period, they were aware that we had to crop plants. We could not just eat plants like that. They understood that there are certain plants that can be cultivated. Okay. So that is how society progresses. That is how society progresses. So this is how we understand history, right? That is what I said, that it helps us understand history. Now with today we have everything. We can't even think of what people used to do so way back then. But see, you also see how these developments did not take place like, they did not take place very fast. It took it took 2.6 million BCE to 2000 BCE to actually come down and begin cropping, cultivation of food crops. So it was like a big process. So where we stand today is like a very civilized society. It's a very developed society, which we could not even think so many years before, right? So do you see how beautiful this is? Okay. Next, people knew about fire and wheel. Wow, amazing. These are like one of the best discoveries in history. Fire and wheel. Now, if you see today, how do you envision your life without fire and wheel? I mean, there is electricity, but even electricity develops through various ways, right? Electricity develops through coal, through burning coal, and electricity develops through water running from a dam and there are turbines. Okay, again, not going into science, but there are ways in which electricity develops, but that also requires fire and wheel. We have to go from one place to the other, even if you have to travel on an aeroplane. So it takes flight through a wheel and then it goes above, right? Then the wheels go inside. If you've not traveled by an airplane, but you do know that, this is how airplanes work. So you have to go through like that. So these were like major discoveries that were made during Neolithic period, which helped advance the society. Okay. I hope the Stone Age is clear. I hope everything's understood. I hope everything's noted. Please keep making notes. Please keep writing as I'm writing. Maybe I mentioned something very important or very interesting that you want to look at later. Go on the internet, search it. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? Moving ahead. Now from Stone Age, we come to civilization. Harappan civilization. Wow, what is a civilization? What is a civilization? Civilization is basically setting up of society. I say it in very simple terms. So it's like over here we'll just study the Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan civilization. But civilizations began and that is how society came to be today. People began living together, people began forming societies, people began forming homes, right? So let's see. The Indus Valley Civilization, IVC, made it easy for you. IVC or Harappan civilization was a Bronze Age civilization. Now see, I'm underlining the important terms. Mainly in the northwestern regions of South Asia, extending from what is today northeast Afghanistan to Pakistan and northwest India. Lot of terms, let's break it down, okay? Now, the Harappan civilization is called Indus Valley civilization. It was a Bronze Age civilization, which means that Bronze Age means during this period of time, bronze. It's an alloy, if you've heard of it. Bronze came into use. Now, do you see how we came from Stone Age, where stones were used, and then we started using bronze? Isn't that wonderful? You use something that's not there, and then you start making things. Bronze Age. Wow, right? So mainly in the northwestern regions of South Asia. Where did it begin? So I have this map for you as well. Northwestern regions of South Asia. So South Asia, India comes under South Asia. This part. Okay, this is us. So South Asia. So northwestern. This is, okay, for everyone's benefit. North. Okay, so this is north, this is east, this is west. Northwestern. Do you see this area, this brown area? Right? Wait, let me do it once again. Let's change the color of the pen. Do you see this? This is where Harappan civilization developed. This is where Harappan civilization was. Extending from what is today northeast Afghanistan, somewhere here, to Pakistan and northwest India. So northwest India is here. Do you see Gujarat here? So where was the Harappan civilization? Again, Harappan civilization is also called Indus Valley civilization. It was a Bronze Age civilization, mainly in northwestern regions of South Asia. Keep this map in mind. See, keep this map in mind. This map in mind. Okay? So, extending from what is today northeast Afghanistan and to Pakistan and northwest India. So it was, do you see how big this is? Now these are 3 countries now. But that time this was this entire civilization. Wow. Amazing. It was the most widespread, and along with ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, one of the earliest civilization of the old world. Wow, we found another fact about Harappan civilization. It was the most widespread. It was spread more widely. It had the largest, reach out there, along with ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. These are other civilizations which existed. So it was the most widespread that we know, but it was also one of the earliest civilizations of old world, along with what are the two other ancient civilizations, old world civilizations. One is ancient Egypt, other is Mesopotamia, and the third one is Harappan civilization. Correct. Moving ahead, we have some details on the Harappan civilization. First one is this is a table that you will have to go through properly. I will look at it, but you will have to do it in a better way. Understood? I hope it's understood. Yes. So, site. These are the sites which are found. Just a minute. Wait, okay. I'll be back to you. Yes. So, site. This is the site that was found. Discoverer, the person who discovered this site. river location, findings. So what do we mean by this table first? So we understood, how do we know that this was as wide as, the civilization went? How do we know that? Because we found these things, because we found sites, because we found traces of the civilization at these sites, because we found certain things at these sites, right? Discovering people, archaeologists look around and find places where history took place. So the person who discovered it, river location. So as it usually happens is that, so you know how water is very important for life, for living, right? So just like that, water is very important for living. So civilizations usually developed near a river. Why is this called the Indus Valley civilization again? Because it developed near the Indus River. You see, these are the points that you need to keep in mind. These are the points I have not mentioned here, but you need to have it in your mind. Harappan civilization developed with Indus River. Okay, now let's go through the site, discoverer, river location, findings. We'll go through this quickly because this is nothing. So first there's Harappa, Montgomery district today, or which is in Pakistan. The discoverer was Diyaram Sahani. It took place between 1921, not 2021. River location, River Ravi. Have you heard of it? It's one of the rivers in India. Stone dancing Nataraj was found here. Wow, beautiful. I wish I could attach pictures here for you guys, but just go through this, do your own research. You will find very interesting things. The next site that we found was Mohenjo-daro in Larkana district, again in Pakistan. So you see how major part of it is in Pakistan. This Pakistan, again Pakistan, right? So it was spread over Pakistan. So R.D. Banerjee, 1922, it was found near River Indus. Great Bath, the Great Granary was found. Bronze dancing girl, she's very famous, look at it. Pashupati Mahadev seal was found. Next site was Lothal. It was discovered by S.R. Rao. It was found near River Bhogava, and it has evidence of a dockyard was found. Okay. Kalibangan, it was found by Bibi Lal near River Ghaggar. 7 fire altars, a ploughed camel field was found. Bones of camels were found. Wow. Now where were they found? They were found buried. They had to dig and found this. Wow. Dholavira. It's in Gujarat. J.P. Joshi found it near River Luni, and largest Harappan inscription was found here, and a unique water management system was also found. Wow, beautiful, amazing. Banavali, it's in Haryana. It was the site was found by R.S. Bisht, River Saraswati. So when we mention discoverer, it's not just this one person doing this work. It's like a lot of people included, but this person must have been heading that team. Okay. So river's location is River Saraswati, and good quality barley was found here. Barley is a kind of food crop. Okay. Chanhu-Daro. Now Chanhu-Daro, Pakistan, N.G. Majumdar. So N.G. Majumdar was a discoverer, found here in this. Bronze figurines of bullock carts and ikkas were found. Okay. Covered this. We're done with the Harappan civilization. I hope you have noted down the points. I hope you're making notes. I hope you're listening to what I'm saying, because this is all very important. Okay. Next, we talk about Vedic period. Vedic period or Vedic age, which lasted from 1500 6000 BC. Now you see, do you see this? When did the Stone Age come to an end? 1000 BC. Did, and in 500 years we developed so much that we were in the Vedic period, in the Vedic age. Wonderful. So Vedic age lasted from 1500 to 600 BCE. It is named after Veds, which are ancient sacred texts of Hinduism. Hinduism is a religion They are ancient sacred texts of Hinduism. This period marks the beginning of Indo-Aryan civilization in the Indian subcontinent and lays the foundation for Indian culture, religion, and social systems. You must have heard your mothers, your fathers, your grandparents, mentioning Ved and Mahabharata, Ramayana, and things like that. So all of this took place during the Vedic period. Okay, the Veds are primarily considered primary sources for understanding this period. So you see how everything is connected. How primary sources are still, we are talking about them, right? So we need to have good understanding of what we are studying in the past, so we can study better in the future. So Vedic literature. This is what marks very importantly in the Vedic period, that is ancient sacred texts, right? Ved. So, 4 Ved, which were Rigved, Samved, Yajurved, Atharved. Okay, repeat with me. Rigved, Samved, Yajurved, and Atharvaved. Okay, these were the 4 Vedas. Upanishads. Upanishads are again texts which were there, and they are 108 in number. Vedangas, Siksha, Kalp, Vyakaran, Nirukta, Chanda, and Jyotish. Repeat with me. Siksha, Kalp, Vyakaran, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotish. Okay. Upvedas. What are Upvedas? Dhanurved, Gandharvaved, Shilpved, Ayurved. Okay, repeat. Dhanurved, Gandharvaved, Shilpved, and Ayurved. Epics. You must have heard of the names epics. What are these? Epics were long stories. Huge stories. Okay, these were called epics. So the 2 epics that were developed during that time were Ramayana and Mahabharata. Okay, moving ahead, we have religious sects during ancient India. Jain Dharma or Jainism as it's called. Jains belonging to an ancient Indian religion trace their history through succession of 24 saviors and teachers known as Tirthankars. So Jainism is a very ancient Indian religion. Okay, it was developed in India, it was discovered in India, it was founded in India, you could say, and these people who follow Jainism are known as Jains. So they trace their history through succession of 24 saviors. So according to them, there were 24 saviors in their religion who are known as Tirthankaras. So there was someone who founded the religion, and the people who followed him, these were treated, these 24 saviors are considered teachers for the people who follow Jainism. So Jains believe that Jainism is an eternal dharma, with Tirthankaras guiding every cycle of the Jain cosmology. This means that Jains believe that Jainism is dharma, means lifetime, something that is there. Eternal means a lifetime thing. Dharma is basically that, dharma is basically your way of doing something. Okay, you must have heard about dharma in shows if you watch like Mahabharata or something like that. There's dharma. Dharma is righteousness. Dharma is, it's what you should be doing at a particular time. If I talk about, like, I am a teacher. My dharma is to teach you. You are a student. Your dharma is to study. Right? So they believe that Jainism is an eternal dharma, with Tirthankaras guiding every cycle of Jain cosmology. So every time there was a new teacher, new Tirthankar, they saw the Tirthankar as their teacher, as their preacher. Important facts: it was found by Rishabhdev. Repeat the name with me. Rishabhdev, who was the first Jain Tirthankara. Okay. Mahavira, the 24th and last Tirthankara, was born in 540 BC in Kundagram near Vaishali. Mahavir is one of the most famous name. You must have also heard of Mahavir Jayanti. So he was the 24th. We have 24 Tirthankaras. First was Rishabdev and the last was Mahavir. And Mahavir was the last Tirthankara and he was born in 540 BCE in Kundagram near Vaishali. What is important? Dates, names and events. Okay. Mahavir attained Kaivalya at the age of 42 and died at the age of 72 in 468 BCE in Pavapuri. Kaivalya means it's something sacred to the Jainism, to the Jain Dharma. So there were two Jain councils. The first Jain council was in 300 BC at Patliputra near Stulbhadra. Patliputra near Stulbhadra. Okay. Second council took place in 5th century AD at Vallabhi near Shramana. Okay. Moving ahead. I hope Jainism is clear. It's just a few topics. It's just a few information. It's just a few facts. You need to look through them properly though. Okay. Now, let's see. The next religious sect that we have is Buddhism. So, what is Buddhism? Buddhism is a religion and dharma that encompasses a variety of traditions and beliefs and spiritual practices largely based on original teachings of Buddha and resulting in interpreted philosophies. Let's make it easy for you. What is Buddha? What is Buddhism? So, it is a religion again. It includes various teachings, beliefs and practices that were taught by Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha is considered the founder of Buddhism. He founded Buddhism and he taught the religion. He gave various teachings to his disciples and which were later taken forward by his disciples to as a whole spread Buddhism. Okay. It originated in ancient India. Buddhism originated in ancient India and from there it spread to much of Asia before declining India during the medieval rule. So what happened in medieval era? We will study that later, right? Medieval era. What happened during that time is that even though it originated in India and from there it spread to Asia, Buddhism, but later in medieval era there was a slight decline in spreading of the religion. Two major recognized branches are Hinayana and Mahayana. So Buddhism has two branches, Hinayan and Mahayan. Keep in mind, Billy, yes. It is the world's fourth largest religion. What is the first largest religion in the world? Who will tell me? Who knows this? Christianity, yes. So, Buddhism was founded by Gautam Buddha, who was born in 563 BCE in Lumbini. Date, events, name. Okay. He attained knowledge at Bodh Gaya. Bodh Gaya is a place where he attained knowledge, and his first sermon at Sarnath. He kept his first sermon at Sarnath and he died in 483 BCE in Kushinagar. He was born in 563 BCE and he died in 483 BCE in Kushinagar. Again, we had four Buddhist councils, but we had two Jain councils. Okay, the first one took place in 483 BCE, Rajgriha. The chairman was Mahakashyap. The patron was Ajatashatru. The second one took place in Vaishali. Chairman was Sabakami. The patron was Kalashok. Third was in 250 BC. The place was Patliputra and the chairman was Mogaliputta Tissa. The patron was Ashoka. Fourth, Ashoka. We'll be studying about Ashoka also. Fourth, AD 72. The place was Kundalwan, where the Buddhist council took place, and the chairman was Masumitra Ashwaghosha, and the patron was Kanishk. Moving forward with important dynasties and rulers. Now we have covered a lot of things, but we will be moving towards the important dynasties and rulers. So the first dynasty that is there is Harayanka dynasty. Bimbisar and Ajatashatru were the important rulers. Now, do you see we have seen this name here? You see that, right? We have seen Ajat here. Did we not? Right? So what was he? He was an important ruler of the Harankya dynasty. So you have to learn to correlate things. Like this, you will remember that where did I hear Ajat? Oh, I heard about him in Buddhism. What was he in Buddhism? He was a patron of council. But I've heard the name Ajat somewhere else also. Where? He was a ruler in Harankya dynasty. You see, this is how you learn things. Next, we have Nanda dynasty. Alexander attacked India during the reign of Dhanananda. Alexander the Great. Have you heard of him? He was invading countries, so he was a invader. He attacked India during the reign of Dhanananda. Modern dynasty. So these are the important facts that took place during the dynasty. Okay, so this is something that you need to keep in mind. There could be a lot of questions from this. So modern dynasty was founded by Chandragupta Maurya. Important. Megasthenes, the Greek ambassador, visited during his reign. So, which was the Greek ambassador who visited during Chandragupta Maurya's reign? Megasthenes. Okay. Ashoka was the most famous king who won the Kalinga War in 261 BCE. Wow. Okay. Ashoka was the most famous king who won the Kalinga War. So we hear the name Ashoka somewhere else. You see this? We hear the name Ashoka here. He was a patron of the third Buddhist council. Sunga's Pushyamitra Sunga founded this dynasty after killing the last Mauryan emperor Brihadratha. Okay, this was founded by Pushyamitra Sunga, and he founded this dynasty after killing the last Mauryan emperor Brihadratha. So, who was the last Mauryan emperor? Brihadratha. Who killed him? Pushyamitra Sunga. And what was established after that? Sunga dynasty. The Indo-Greeks. First to issue gold coins in India. Wow, this was the time when gold coins were issued in India. The Kushans. Kanishka, the most famous king, started the Shaka era in AD 78. So where did we study Kanishka? Kanishka was another patron of Buddhism. Okay, so this is how you remember two things. Kanishka, say you remember Kushan dynasty. You remember he was the most famous king who started Shaka era in 1868. And then you remember, oh, I heard this name somewhere else also. Where did I hear it? He was a patron of Buddhist council, the fourth Buddhist council. Gupta dynasty. Samudragupta was known as the Napoleon of India by Vincent Smith called Samudragupta the Napoleon of India. Find out why this was, or I'll tell you in a future lecture why this was, but find out and see how interesting it is. Chinese pilgrim Fahin visited India during Chandragupta II's reign. When did Chinese pilgrim Fahin visit India? During Chandragupta II's reign. Okay. Pushyabhati dynasty. Chinese pilgrim Zhang visited during reign of Harshvardhan. Huan Zhang visited during reign of Harshvardhan. Harshvardhan was a ruler of Pushyabhuti dynasty, and Chinese pilgrim visited India during that time. What was his name? Huan Zhang. Rajputs divided into 4 clans: Pratihara, Chauhans, Chalukyas, and Pamaras. So these are the 4 clans that Rajputs were divided into, and with the last dynasty, that is Cholas dynasty, the greatest Chola ruler was Rajaraja and his son Rajendra I. Who are the greatest Chola rulers? Rajaraja and his son Rajendra I. So with this, we come to the conclusion of ancient history. I hope you have made notes. I hope you have noted down things. If you have not, pause the video and write down things. These these tables are important. Try to form flow charts. Try to keep maps with you so you understand this better. Anyways, with this, we come to the end of ancient history. Study well, keep making notes. Any doubts, go through your notes and you will understand everything. Thank you.